What role does budgeting play in helping you simplify your life? That's the title of today's letter.
Okay.
Lately, I've been acutely aware of my tendency to overspend, resulting in a bit more consumer debt than I'm comfortable with. While it's not an astronomical amount, it's just a few $100s beyond my financial comfort zone, it is a wake-up call prompting me to reevaluate my spending habits and prioritize my budgeting. Smart. Being over a year and a half out of college, congratulations, I found myself succumbing to the allure of aspirational purchases for my living space and indulging in unnecessary shopping sprees on platforms like Shein.
What's Shein?
It's like a cheap place to buy like clothes and like.
Oh, okay.
It's not bad. The shirt I was wearing last podcast was from Shein.
Is it China? Is it Chinese? Shein?
I think it's kind of Chinese.
Okay, cool.
But it's no joke. I got like 5 shirts. It's like my favorite shirts. Like they fit me good.
Are they good quality stuff though?
Solid quality.
Okay, cool.
You kind of have to like, it's like with anything, you kind of have to like trial and error.
Okay, cool. Whatever.
Additionally, the convenience of dining out, both lunch and dinner, has become a costly habit.
Been there.
Yep, same. As someone who grew up with limited financial resources, I realize I need to take a break. I need to break free from this cycle of excessive spending and focus on building a more financially secure future.
Been there.
My goal is to embrace a simpler lifestyle.
Been there.
There we go. Redirecting my focus towards saving and eventually venturing into the world of investing.
I've been there.
Yeah, definitely. However, I recognize the importance of maintaining a social life, occasionally going out for dinner or clubbing with friends. This realization underscores the urgent need for me to adopt a more disciplined and effective budgeting strategy. So I'm reaching out to you for insight on how to approach budgeting, especially when striving for a simpler life. What role does budgeting play in achieving financial goals, and how do you manage to stick to your budget while enjoying social activity? I'm eager to hear your experiences and gather tips on creating a balanced budget that aligns with a more intentional and fulfilling lifestyle.
Nice.
From living with the overspending blues, knowing it's time to tighten the purse's screws, and hoping overcoming spending strife will simplify my life. I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
Well, that's awesome.
Thank you for writing in.
Yeah, thank you for writing in. And your question actually prompted this entire podcast topic.
Yeah. We owe you some ad revenue.
We owe you some ad revenue. Yeah, good job. You get some.
You get some. You
can reach out to Dominic. You can go to his house and ask for the money, and he will give you that money.
Come find me.
Yeah, come find him.
Come find me.
Yeah. So there's 2 questions that they asked here, right? Number 1 is like, how does it make your life simpler? And number 2 is, was it kind of like, how do you do it?
How do you balance it?
How do you balance it?
Balance it, yeah.
So I guess first things first is like, I'm really glad to see that our listener here figured it out that they had a spending problem early on. Like what, a year and a half out of college?
I mean, they were
a few $100s. Like, is a few $100s like it's a lot of money? Yeah, it's a lot of money,
Yeah.
but like it
could be
a
worse.
lot worse. And unfortunately, when people fall into it's already a lot worse, they give up even ever trying to get better.
Yeah.
And things can always be better. Like I always want, like, doesn't matter where you are. Maybe you're $10,000, shit, $100,000, whatever you're at. But you do need to start at some point and start trying to make it better, rather than just keep on. Like, if you're already in the hole, like, why continue dig?
Don't continue to dig.
Yeah.
You gotta dig out.
Yeah, you got to figure out a different way.
Absolutely.
So I'm really glad that you've realized that early on. So congratulations, and I'm not really sure I don't think, did they mention how they noticed it, or?
They were saying that I found myself succumbing to the allure of aspirational purchases.
I'm going to say it's because they've been listening to the Fi Guys and they realized that's probably it. It's because of us.
We're having a good influence on the people.
We're having good influence.
For the people.
We're here for you.
We are actually here for you.
But to answer the first part of the question is like, how does it simplify my life? Budgeting has simplified it in so many ways, but for me, the biggest way it's helped is by reducing my stress and worry.
Yes.
Money for me, and you've actually mentioned it too, you didn't grow up with a lot. So maybe you have the same feelings, but money for me is security. Like, without money, I feel like insecure, and I feel like my freedom is being taken away because I know what it's like to basically be like paycheck to paycheck, or to feel like any calamity that comes out of even like as simple as like a tire going out, or something like that is like the end of the world and you're done. You can't figure it out. So for me, having a budget, and I'm not really even the biggest budgeter, but having like a spending tracker, like knowing where my money is going and what's going on, it gives me the ability to know that if the worst does come to happen, I'm going to be okay. Because I've set up a plan beforehand, and I've also looked at that plan every single month or every 2 weeks or every week, and I've readjusted where I'm moving on my path towards achieving financial freedom and financial independence.
I love that.
Yep.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
What else?
I think that like knowing that you can comfortably handle your bills and even put some money aside for savings. And you said eventually you want to get into investing. I'd recommend doing that sooner rather than later, especially because you're really young. You have the ability for compound interest to really get behind you. Only a year and a half out of college, probably in your 20s. Save a little bit now. It's going to become a lot more in the future. But for me, like it just, I don't know, maybe you say the same thing, but like tracking your spending just makes you feel like you're in control a lot more than, I don't remember what it was like to not track my money. But I do remember what it was like to get a paycheck and at the end of the month be like, where did it all go?
Yeah. It's definitely a quality of life update.
Yeah.
For sure. Getting rid of the stress of money, getting rid of the unknowingness of money and how much to spend. Because if you don't know how much to spend on X, then really any answer or any money you spend on it is kind of incorrect.
Yeah.
In a way.
If you have no idea how much you can spend on like clothes, then any amount that you spend is going to make you not feel good about it.
Yeah. You have to have a clear picture of what's actually going on.
So you asked like, what's the bill? How do you do that? So that's what this whole podcast was dedicated to, different ways of doing it.
Yes.
If you want to be automated, I definitely recommend if you're on iOS or Apple, or you like the web-based Copilot. If you're Android, maybe use Monarch Money. If you want a free thing, go to Rocket Money.
Rocket Money, yeah.
Go to Rocket Money. For me, I still do everything in a Google Sheet that me and my wife have access only to that Google Sheet, and we do it all manually. Yeah. That works really well for me. But whatever you decide to do, no judgments here, and you just do it. Whatever you like, that's totally cool with me.
Yeah.
But for me, like when I get to do it manually, it really connects me more mindfully with my money every time I see it, because it's not just me, not just automatically tracking. I have to spend the money, then I have to go back in there and actually add it in there.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it gives me and my wife a chance every week to talk about it. And we talk about it really, we try to do like no judgment, and we're exploring it with curiosity for like, why'd you spend this money on this purse? Or like, why'd you do these things?
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, especially when you're married, to
talk to your spouse
and come to it with curiosity and understanding rather than judging. Because people can feel that you're judging them.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to money, because it's so emotionally fraught.
Yes, it's very tense. I mean, your life is not based around it, but it's a major part of it. Without the money, I mean, we can't live.
Yeah, and I would say that goes even beyond that. Like, what is money but a trade of your life energy? Like, in order for you to get money, you have to trade time, and your time is your life. You're trading your life for money. Yeah. So that's the reason that like it's so fraught with so many emotions, is because whenever you feel like you're buying things you don't want, or money's not going the way that you want, it's like, I'm trading my life and I'm not getting what I want out of it.
Yeah. Bingo.
So, again, me and my wife, we focus much more on the spending tracking than we do on the budgeting aspect.
Yes.
We obviously set budget or like goals, but they're really, really rough. But yeah.
Yeah. Key takeaways: start investing sooner than later. Start budgeting or tracking.
Yeah, or tracking.
But, well, really, both.
Yeah.
Continue to learn. Continue to grow your money mindset, and know that this person is on the path.
No, they're like 100% on the path. Yeah. They're doing a very, very good job. I mean, if anything, I would just say just keep with it. And like I said earlier, sometimes there isn't an easy solution. You just need, if you know you need to do it, you just need to do it. Yeah. And you just need to get down, you need to get it done. And then once you start to like grow and you get better at it, you'll be able to see like what level of financial independence do I want. You're going to know what those numbers are, and that's going to help you stick to the path. Yeah. So stick to the path, celebrate the small wins, stay accountable. You know, if you need a financial advisor, you need a coach, you need someone like that, you can always reach out to me. I'm always happy to do that. If you don't want to pay somebody to do that, just get a friend involved in this stuff. Tell somebody about the Fi Guys and have them do it with you.
Yeah.
It's going to make it a lot better. You know, automate as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And then just remember, like, consistency in educating yourself and growing is really what's going to get you to where you want to be.
Yep. Yep. Got to have that growth mindset. You know, a lot of what we talk about on the podcast is basically revolving around that we get 1% better every day, or we try to be, you know, and yeah, improving your finances. I mean, this person's clearly taking the step, the leap, as scary as it can be. They're taking control, and that's to be celebrated.
Yeah, I think one thing to talk about, because they said at one point, I just looked back up, they said that they're having trouble spending money, especially when also trying to be social with their friends. And I talked about this before, but I want to bring it up again, that the biggest expense in your life is lifestyle creep, and like you adding things into your life and your life becoming more expensive as your income goes up. So focus on yourself and what you want, and judging yourself against others is really what's going to keep you constantly stuck in debt. Like our entire monetary system is set up on consumerism, and us trying to, and like every single marketing team, every single thing on social media, everything is trying to push you towards buying something to make yourself feel fulfilled.
Yep.
The only way to like really break free of that is to come above that and stop realizing that I don't need to compare myself to other people. If I'm happy with who I am, then you really don't need much. I've had times in my life that I've made a good amount of money. I've had times that I haven't made a good amount of money. And after I kind of like figured out financial independence, it really didn't matter how much money I was making or not making, because my cost of living was so low because I was happy with what I had, that when I was making more money, great, I was saving more money and bringing true financial independence closer to me. When I wasn't making enough money or a lot of money, it was okay because I was still making enough to make ends meet and still be fine.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Know thyself.
Know thyself.
Know thyself. Well, I hope we helped that person.
Me too.
Me too. Yeah. And thank you for writing in. Big love from Arizona.
Big love, and thank you for sometimes it's hard to come up with topics, but like when people like write in like that and like ask us, like, that's a topic.
That's a good one.
That's a good topic.
That's a good one. Well, we appreciate you. We thank you. And not just you. We thank all the listeners. We appreciate everyone who tunes in every week or every other week, depending on your schedule. And we just want to thank you guys.
Thank you.